Planner besties and busy bees. I am celebrating some huge milestones in my professional career currently. I have been a professor for 16 years. I've been a department chair for 3 years, and I just finished my first semester as a full professor. I decided that I would treat myself, and how better to treat myself than with luxury planners and notebooks. Planner besties, busy bees, you know how we are. And so I want to talk all about the Louis Vuitton Emily notebook, what fits, what doesn't fit, and how you might want to use it in your own system after my theme music. Welcome back, y'all. As always, this is Stories and Stationery. This is a place where we explore how planning and journaling can enhance our lives. I don't say that I'm an expert in all of these things. I am just someone who is living this journey called life with everybody else. And so I have come to a major milestone in my lived experience and in my life's journey. So, the highest rank that you can attain as faculty in my country, the United States, is full professor. When you finish your doctorate, you have a PhD. And then, if you win the jobs lottery, because it truly is like, I don't know, I explain it as being a member of the American Ballet or landing your first role in Hollywood. That's how terrible the job market has become for professors. You land that first job on a trial basis, you become an assistant professor. Generally, you are an assistant professor anywhere from 5 to 8 years. Then you go up for something called tenure, which people do know about. You have to publish a certain amount of scholarship, whatever your field deems as scholarship. And then you go up for something called tenure and promotion to associate professor. That happened to me a while back before the pandemic. I became an associate professor in 2018. At my new institution, where I moved in 2021, I was recently encouraged to go up for full professor. That's the highest rank. That is a bump in salary and responsibilities. And so I attained the rank of full professor as of July 1st, 2025. So now I'm in the big time. So I'm just kidding. I still am in education. I am not a corporate CEO. I am not a billionaire. I have not lost my mind. But I thought, some people would go out and they would get a Mercedes, or, they would get a Hermes Birkin or something like that. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I want to expand my collection of being the best dressed planner on campus. So, what I decided to do was to expand my collection of Louis Vuitton planners and notebooks. Let's get into it. The first notebook that I got that I thought was just, oh my God, why would I spend this much money on a notebook? I was influenced. That's my excuse. Was my Damier Ebene desk agenda. I purchased this 2 years ago. And guess what? Planner besties and busy bees, I have been in this thing. This is my current workhorse. There have been some updates since the summer and the setup I showed you. I'm going to do a video all about that because I'm going to talk about the 5 things I wish I knew for 2025 as a new planner. and I'll talk all about my 2026 stack. But this is how I ended the year. So this is a Damier Ebene just agenda. Let me say that again. This is a Damier Ebene. That means checkered ebony, I think. I don't speak French. I took 12 years of Spanish in school, but it's checkered ebony coated canvas. So people talk about this Louis Vuitton famous pattern. These are the two famous patterns. There's Damier Ebene, and then there's the LV Louis Vuitton monogram. And people sometimes believe that they're leather or they're plasticky feeling leather. No, this is coated fabric. So it is coated with PVC now. And back in the day, I don't know what they used. Was it tallow? But this was why Louis Vuitton became famous over 150 years ago, because he figured out a way to coat the canvas outer lining of trunks. I believe that's the story. So I really like the checkerboard pattern. I'm a fan of shapes, especially even shapes. So I like circles and squares. Don't ask me why, I just do. Geometric shapes. So, you can tell my little costume earring from Paint Nail Bar. It's really cool. It's brass, but straight lines. I like geometric shapes as much as I like flowers. So anyway, I digress. I really liked the Damier Ebene pattern. My first Neverfull that I was really loving that was coated canvas was in this pattern. And so I decided to invest in the Damier Ebene notebook. And let me tell you, this desk agenda was the best decision ever. It is so versatile. You can put an A5 notebook into it. You can put a disc bound planner into it. You can use the loose rings, binder rings that you can get from all kinds of planner companies. I know that I talk a lot about cloth and paper because I'm a Happy Intention Box subscriber, but you can use pretty much any A5 or half letter paper in this book. And so you do not have to buy the agendas from Louis Vuitton. You can do your own thing. And so this is how I ended the year in my Damier Ebene. I'm going to say this is a half letter. It is the Damier Ebene desk agenda. So it is somewhere in between the size medium ring agenda, which has the permanent binder rings, although you can remove them. There's rings in the middle. And then there is the large ring agenda, the GM A5 size that plenty of people have. I keep returning to this because it's durable. It's not too flashy. This is a little flashier. I'll talk about that in a moment. And I just decided once I became chair, this was my chair gift to myself. And I just really like it. I've really been in this thing. I ended up archiving my heirloom collection Madrid folio probably around July or August. I tried out a smaller HP mini setup for the beginning of the school year, and that just did not work because, again, look at my wingspan. Do you see the difference between my last couple of videos where I've shown you how large my wingspan is next to the CP Petite Traveler's Notebook, and in a pocket agenda, it's even smaller. Like a pocket agenda is about the size of the palm of my hand. And now I can't, when you open up the planner, my hand looks like it's normal sized. So I have decided, good people, I'm going to be in half letter and HP Classic for 2026. Go where you're wanted, go where you're loved. And if you have big hands, then just like I like big bags, and I cannot lie, I like big planners, and that I cannot deny. So, oh, that rhyme. That was like Dr. Seuss. That was kind of, yeah. Look at me. Look at me. All right, YouTuber. So anyway, this was my setup, and I'm going to get into this more in another video because I do want to do two videos. One where I talk about the changes and shifts that I made from January 2025 to now in December 2025 and talk about my setup. And I want to then talk about what I am moving toward in 2026. So in order to reward myself, I decided I think I want a couple of new items that are for my planning and journaling system that are luxury. I'm celebrating my first year as a YouTuber as well. I never thought I could do it. I watch YouTube, I have for over a decade. I am so busy as a professor and as a department chair. That's two jobs in once. Um, I said two jobs in once. What I meant was that is two jobs at once, and it is two jobs in one. So, because it's so busy, I tend to let others create the content that I consume late at night while I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm like, oh, okay, what kind of skincare routine is best for women of a certain age, like me? So, that's the kind of thing I do. Or, ooh, what's the latest celebrity tea? I decided I was going to venture into the world of planning content because truly the two things I'm starting to collect in middle age are notebooks and bags. So if I wasn't going to do a bag channel and then be called under investigation, like, okay, Dr. Ebene, why are you promoting hyperconsumption or overconsumption among our youth? I thought, well, at least with a notebook, you could take that to school and it has some academic purpose. So, anyway, enough rambling. The first purchase that I made, I unboxed, as I always do off screen. I decided that my Damier Ebene desk agenda deserved a twin, so I purchased my first monogram item from LV. Now, I grew up in Detroit, so this monogram was very familiar, whether people had it real or whether or not this was counterfeited. As a matter of fact, I read online that the LV monogram is the most counterfeited luxury brand trademark in the world. It is because it is an older house, so founded in 1954, y'all. Louis Vuitton was famously founded in 1854 in Paris, France, where the headquarters still is. And so I thought, okay, I've been seeing this all my life. That's why I thought the checkerboard, although just as recognizable, I thought it was more subtle. I thought it was more sophisticated. Some people don't think it's as feminine as the monogram, but I don't know. Maybe the monogram has grown on me as I've started collecting items and as I've watched many of your videos. So what I decided I was going to do is this. I just have the 365 days cloth and paper notebook that you remember you last saw when I filmed that video in the late spring, early summer semester for me. This was in the Conscious Collection clay folio in half letters. So I decided I was going to move it over. And if you want to kind of compare the two, again, I am so new. Just think, by the time I'm doing this a few years down the road, I'm going to really know what I'm doing. I just wanted to show you the insides of the two. You can kind of compare. So you have this chocolate leather. I think it's Taiga leather. Taiga leather on the inside of the Damier Ebene, and I do have my initials here. I decided to deboss in red, because I love to paint it red, as any Delta Diva always does. And then for the monogram agenda, you have this wonderful, maybe this is dark chocolate versus milk chocolate, because I've seen it look tan on some folks' videos, and I always wonder, but when I got my own, I said, yeah, this is not really that same kind of clay, light colored leather. It's mid-tone. So you have milk chocolate versus dark chocolate here. I did just put temporarily here, if you purchased anything from Louis Vuitton over the holidays and you had a really nice client advisor, they packaged up your boxes very nicely. So this was a Flying Trunks gold. It's thick paper, you can kind of see, but as a planner, I just really thought that was so cute. So it's flying trunks. And because I am a children's literature scholar by trade and an expert in science fiction and fantasy, this is so whimsical. It's very Howl's Moving Castle or science fiction fairy tales in nature. So I just tucked it here, and I will perhaps use that in a 2026 spread. And then I just added this for visual interest. I don't actually know that I am going to use this folio or the Monogram desk agenda in this manner. I don't know that I'm going to use the daily planner. So, we'll leave that as an open question. So let's fold things away. You will be seeing these again in future videos. I love having disc bound, and this just shows you how you can just stick your disc bound planners right in to your desk agenda. Of course, this came from the Cloth and Paper Conscious Collection folio. I also received one in my Heirloom Collection folio, but you can purchase them on the website. I think they were either $5 or $10, maybe even $5, where you can choose to create your own disc bound planner or your ring planner. You can customize it. And this is just so handy to tuck into the back of your luxury folios. So LV works this way. I think depending on the size of the Coach notebooks, I don't have those because Planner Besties and Busy Bees, you keep selling them out. Every time we try to look on Coach Outlet, go to the Coach store, there are never any of those cool, beautiful notebooks available. I see you. I see you. So, I've had to resort to the more expensive option to treat myself. All right. So I decided that I wanted, in addition to the monogram version of the desk agenda, I wanted an Emily notebook cover. The reason why is because last year, Louis Vuitton decided to relaunch their iconic Takashi Murakami multicolor monogram. Back when Marc Jacobs was their creative director, the lead designer at Louis Vuitton, everybody remembers Y2K and throughout the 2000s, the either white or black coated canvas with the rainbow colored monogram. I do have a couple of splurges that I decided to get out of the collection. Nothing too fancy, nothing too bad, but I've been saving a lot all my life, and I was not luxury until I'm almost 50. So it's like I've been working almost 30 years. But the point is, I found out they have a notebook cover that is slightly smaller than the two desk agenda options that I was most familiar with. Of course, good luck getting your hands on one of the monogram multicolor Emily notebooks. If you look online right now, because I considered doing that instead of all of this is not as expensive as it is to buy a secondhand Murakami Louis Vuitton Emily notebook cover. I mean, those things are running between $1,000 and $3,000, which is I can't do it. I can't do it. I know it's silly to pay hundreds of dollars for planners or notebook covers, et cetera, which people in the stationery and planning community, we understand. Oh, by the way, I'm flashing around my holiday nails. Of course, Whitley LaFloria has done it again. These are my natural nails. They are healthy. My cuticles are perfect. And listen, if you are in Southeast Michigan, Mrs. LaFloria will get you right. Please look her up at I'm Unique Nails. She is available. Google her. And as soon as I get 500 followers, I hope to be able to have a code where if you are anywhere in Southeast Michigan or Northern Ohio, Whitley can hook you up. She is funny. She is fine. She is just, that's my girl. So yeah, she's always going to have my nails gorgeous on these videos. So this is a bronze mirror. We decided we weren't going to go with silver or gold, red or green. These nails will carry me right into 2026. All right, so without further ado, I want to unbox my Emily notebook cover that I did purchase. So this is one of the rare unboxings you're gonna get on this channel. All right, so this is because I, of course, have already unboxed it, so I wouldn't be awkward on camera. Here's another one of the flying trunks, holiday 2025 motifs, and I might show you one of the bags because the bags are really cute too. The bags were really bigger than the camera area would allow for. Then there was a bit of this tissue paper, and the tissue paper has a very subtle checkerboard. Now, remember I said I couldn't get the Damier checkerboard from Cloth and Paper? Remember I fussed about that? No, maybe I didn't fuss about that yet. You haven't seen that video, or maybe you have. I don't know. There is the Damier Ebene. You can kind of see it here. And so I've seen planners laminate or otherwise use tissue paper. So even the tissue paper very subtly has, you know, some LV stuff, which they should at the price point we're paying. You do get a dust bag for your Emily notebook, and here it is. So blue is my favorite color. I have made no mistake about that. I do love blue. I looked for an Emily notebook cover that was not coated canvas, and all the leather covers, you planner besties and busy bees, you know you all are buying this stuff like it's hotcakes. I was too late earlier this year to purchase the black version of this. So this is Torillon leather. I think I'm probably pronouncing it terribly. The leather is just soft. It definitely has that, you know, gorgeous, you know, good leather smell. It does not smell chemically at all, at least to me. And this is the faded blue color. So it is an incredibly light blue with a cool undertone. So like a blue gray. It is perfect. One day I am going to film one of my Plan Like a Boss sessions in my master bedroom, which is all blue on blue on blue. And it is absolutely gorgeous. So I am excited to use this for a personal journal, maybe for a faith journal. I'm not really sure, but I am just so pleased with this. This Emily notebook also came in several other colors. All of them were sold out except for the one that seemed kind of orange. I think it was called Coral. There was also a pink released, and I think I saw one pink available anywhere online on Fashion File, because the coral orange, this faded blue, and cotton candy, which was pink, of the three, these two were available, but the pink, good luck getting pink. So, I mean, people just, they love pink. And so I even saw a video before I purchased this, or decided to purchase it, of a content creator, and I can give them a shout out below. I'm trying to remember who it was, but I will put you in the description. They purchased this version of the Emily notebook cover, and then they chose to return it. So I was so excited. I was like, oh, yay, somebody else is blue. And so I was just like, I guess I was just a little disappointed, because I know I am one of the planner girlies who can take or leave pink, you know? I don't know, just how I am. The inside of the Emily notebook in this style has the coated canvas. So you do have two leather flaps. So, oops, this is the code. Or it tells you how, you know, like this is the code from Louis Vuitton. I thought I had unboxed everything, and I guess I hadn't. You can tell the coated canvas goes all the way back here and back over this way. I will say that this is just about as expensive as the medium ring agenda, and certainly around the same price as the desk agendas. So I believe I paid 500 and I'm trying to remember, it was 500 something for this. So the thing about it is that when you buy these, you can always resell it and get as much, or depending on how much in demand the notebook cover is, you can get even more for your money. Again, go and Google Louis Vuitton Emily notebook cover and just cry, because you're just like, why is it that serious? But apparently it is, because most of them are sold out. Fortunately, I love blue. So this is my notebook, y'all. I just love this notebook cover. Now I'm searching and haunting the sites to find myself another. So let's move this aside, and I want to talk about the issue of what fits. So the other color I was really interested in getting, but of course it's long gone, is this comes in black as well. So you could tell it's going to be super versatile and it's going to be super durable, because it just won't show stains like this will. With this, I'm going to have to be careful. It's not like it's something I'm going to take with me to campus. I watched several videos about what would actually fit into the Emily notebook. So just to show you the comparison, size comparison between this and both half letter and A size. Sorry, half letter and A5. I want to show you the size difference between the Emily notebook and the half letter. So if you can tell, this Emily notebook cover will not fit a stuffed half letter. Now, you may be able to cut or modify paper, use smaller discs. I would not recommend that for this kind of cover. It just won't, it's not made for this good people. I mean, I bet that you could put it here. Okay, I'm just going to show you as an experiment so you can kind of see why it won't line up. Do you see? It just does not line up correctly or well. See? Yeah, it's far too small. And the only reason I was able to put the back cover in was because of the cloth and paper back cover. So that doesn't fit. You can't put a half letter or junior sized planner into it. The next experiment I tried or thought about was, can you put an A5 planner into it? Ooh, look, that matches. That's really cool. And the answer is probably not. If you see, oh, that fit. Okay, but look, you have a how do you close the cover problem? Yeah, see? How do you close the cover? I just don't know. You can't close the cover well. So the Emily notebook is just not meant to replace a desk agenda or another size for your planners, your larger planners. So I did go on an adventure to go and see what actually fit into the Emily notebook, and I'm going to put this little trunk inside of it just because. I'll have it there for now. Let's go on a journey. So obviously, Louis Vuitton makes a notebook that fits this. Now, I was not going to buy this notebook. However, the very lovely client advisor, CA, who sold me my Neverfull and smiles and tries to sell me other things, had this ready for me when I went to pick up from our local Louis Vuitton. She had this all set for me. And I was just like, do I get this? Because you go on the website and see how much this is. I mean, it's not 3 digits, but I'm like, okay, why are you going to pay this for a notebook? But let me tell you something. Cloth and paper, sterling ink, which I am going to have a review of very soon because I bought sterling ink trying to get a notebook to fit in here. Archer and Olive, who we're going to talk about in a minute. These planner, stationery, pen and pencil companies are coming for our pockets. So there is no way before I got into paper planning, good quality and or luxury paper planning or artisanal small business paper planning, I would have paid this much for a notebook. but I paid this much for a notebook. And it actually works really well. So this is the indigo blue Louis Vuitton Jane notebook. So the Emily notebook cover fits Jane notebooks. Don't ask me why. That is just how LV decided that they were going to do it. You can look on their website to see how many pages are in the notebook. And yeah, so you have the brown cover. Oh, this is paper. So if you see a notebook from Louis Vuitton on the website or on any of the pre-love sites, Fashion File, Rebag, The Real Real, StockX, Poshmark, I would just be careful to make sure that if you're expecting a notebook cover, that you're not ordering something like this. Once you use the paper in here, it's pretty much done unless you decide you're going to take the effort to just take the LV cover and convert it. You would have to upcycle it in order for you to do anything with it. So here is this sort of monogram motif in here, but it is paper. I'm just not good at ASMR. I have questions. Some of it, I like restocks, but some of it where people are just tapping on things and spraying things. Child, my mild OCD gets irritated because if you are spraying something and tapping on it, then you put it in a bag, you're going to give it to me. I want to be the first person to spray from that bottle. So anyway, all right. So this is the first page. This book belongs to, and it has that sort of, problem. The glue is kind of stuck to the page in the way that, I sort of complain about with other of the good companies. Maybe I'm just so used to Office Depot and Staples that I'm like, why is this page stuck like this? So anyway, but it came like this. I think this is just the way that the front cover is glued in. You can put your nameplate in. If I were to use this notebook, and I don't know that I will because I have some other options, I probably would put a nice little clip here, and then I would just start writing on this page just because the glue of the first couple of pages, kind of, let me show you. Yeah, see, the glue of the first couple of pages is kind of irritating me. The paper seems pretty thin. I don't know much about it. Perhaps others would. I just don't see many people actually buying these notebooks. I liked my client advisor. I knew I was not making her a lot of money just buying notebooks and accessories and an occasional Neverfull or Alma or something like that. I'm not buying a really expensive bag. I'm not buying ready to wear. So I bought the notebook, whatever. I just don't know if I'm going to write in it. Not because I'm so precious to write, I don't want to write an expensive notebook. That ship has sailed with all of these subscription boxes. What I was wondering was, is this really even my thing beyond it fits into the Emily notebook cover, which I love. So when I was experimenting after picking this up last weekend, I just put the band. So, it does have this elastic band. This is the only band that you get. The monogram motif, sort of half faded, repeats on the on the back cover or back inside cover, and then you do have the journal elastic band in brown because you want it not to just be shoved in. Here's the best way. I put the elastic band on the inside of the back cover, and you want to make sure it's not twisted. You see how it's twisted? I would want to, here comes my awkward black girl. Thank you, Issa Rae, for giving me that phrase. All right, and then you tuck it into the back cover here. See? Oops. Okay. So much for my dastardly plan to resell this. You're going to see why this is a little awkward, because it does fit, because I put it in there like this before. And it is designed really for this notebook cover. So if you look at it, Louis Vuitton designed this notebook, and it's a very specialized size. I don't think it's a standard international size, and they do that on purpose. So you'll be encouraged to buy their notebook, but it fits. You kind of have this blue on blue on blue going on. So you have this shade of faded blue. You have the indigo sort of dark denim, and then you have a deeper blue on the edge. So some Louis Vuitton notebooks have a gold edging, and this one has the navy blue. And so, yeah, that is how the Emily notebook is supposed to work. I decided that I was going to try some other options in future videos because sterling ink is taking forever to get here. I'm just going to be real with you. I was trying to review all the notebooks. I will show you some other options, but I looked at the videos on the Emily notebook and, shout out to everyone who did it. It's why I decided to invest in it. But there are some other options that I think were not covered in the videos that I saw. The one is Archer and Olive. I have been wanting to explore Archer and Olive forever. I'm just too busy to get a sub box that has every single planner, stationery, and craft supply known to man in it. So, it's $75 for a quarter. You get several notebooks, you get acrylograph pens, you get stamps, you get paper, you get stickers. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this would be amazing if I were at a different point in my life. So in retirement, I am going to be bookmaking my heart out. Like I could see myself taking a course on bookmaking and calligraphy, and just that is my second career or something like that. But for now, I think what I'm going to do is just buy a la carte Archer and Olive notebooks. I've read that some people, especially the Hobonichi folks, they don't really like Archer and Olive because they say the paper's too thick. And I'm just like, okay, y'all. Okay. Of course, it's social media. We all have our nits to pick. We all like to complain, but these are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous notebooks. I did get 3, and they're the TN Traveler size, and I believe they're the 270 page size. And I did some research, and I think there was someone on Reddit who said to try that in the Emily notebook. It is not 100% made for it like the Louis Vuitton, but let me show you how this is actually going to work out. So I did get 3 because I wasn't sure. It's the Christmas season now. I wasn't sure about what was going to arrive. I did get 2 from Archer and Olive, and I got 1 from the Little Craft Place. And I think I want to open the Little Craft Place's notebook up first. I want to make sure I'm opening theirs because they're all similar. I wanted to get something that would either compare or contrast to the blue, and I think this is them. I hope so. Is this you? Hold on. See, I put the paper back in. Nope, that's not it. Okay. This is why I don't do unboxings, because some of y'all do really good unboxings and I'm looking at them. This is it. Okay, so here is the first notebook that I ordered. It was from the Little Craft Place because the Archer and Olive folks are just as terrible as the Cloth and Paper Bestie. Y'all go in and you charge up your cards to the limit and everything is sold out. And I'm like, dang. You go on the websites and it's just real. And I get it. I am late for planner season. I don't start thinking about my planners for 2026 until December. Again, I'm an academic. I've always been an educator. Our years are July through June or August through, July or something like that. We're on a completely different calendar than the rest of y'all, but people were they had already cleaned out things. And of course I was looking during Black Friday and after. So, no, this is not it. You know what, y'all? Let me just go ahead and unbox all 3 and then I can talk about Little Craft Place. Little Craft Place. Gee, this is what happens when you feel when you're tired after a long day. So I did get this Songbird Traveler's Notebook, all this chit chat, and I purchased. So now I know where the 2 that I purchased from Archer and Olive are. They're these 2. So these 2 are still available on the website when I ordered them a week and a half ago, and so we have a Songbird Traveler's Notebook, and we also have the Winter Village. So I'm going to go over each of these in turn. And then from the little craft place, I was able to purchase a sold out Archer and Olive notebook. Shout out, because they were selling them at cost. Oops. They sold them for the price of their selling them on the website. So I wanted to have a few different options because I kind of knew this was going to work. So this is from Little Craft Place. And what happened to the stuff that they put inside the box? Oh, I know where it is. Here it is. This is why I was late with it, because it's stuck in the gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous boxes for the notebooks. So here you go. This is the Little Craft Place. Shout out. I want to give them a shout. They have a wonderful website online. And to be honest, they arrived before Archer and Olive did, and they are reselling. So I am definitely going to be patronizing you all again. They had a wonderful little note. They said, thank you so much for your order. We hope you enjoy your new Archer and Olive journal. Happy 2026. They're just so awesome. And then they gave me some Guardians of the Galaxy stickers, which I just think is just so amazing. I love these personalized notes. And so check out the description box below. Again, because I have fewer than 500 followers, I can't directly link, and definitely I'm not, at anywhere near any kind of affiliate, nor am I'm doing this for fun. But do go visit them, because just wonderfully professional service. So here are the 3 notebooks I purchased from Archer and Olive. They are the Traveler notebooks, or TN on their site. And I purchased them because I knew that they were going to match and look good inside this LV Emily notebook. So you can kind of compare them by size to the Louis Vuitton. So let me show you all 4 angles. I think it's 4 angles. So you can kind of see this is an Archer and Olive TN notebook. Here is the Louis Vuitton. So you kind of have, perhaps you have about a half to 2/3 of an inch difference. Of course, the LV is much thinner. Of course, you have, well, you can't see the back. Here's how they compare, in length. They're about the same height. Maybe there's a couple of centimeters difference between the two. And yeah. For the Louis Vuitton notebook, the Jane notebook, you just get the journal elastic, or the elastic band. But for the Archer and Olive Traveler's notebooks, you get the elastic band that keeps the notebook closed. You do get a pen or pencil loop, which is stuck to the back cover. You do get a pouch, or a back cover pouch or folder that goes here. Oh, the Archer and Olive girls are probably, and guys, and everybody they're probably so annoyed with me because I don't know. And then of course you get the bookmark, the double bookmark. This one has the Archer and Olive famous ampersand symbol, and the ampersand here had some little leaves. So I just think that's so cute. These are my first Archer and Olive notebooks. I've never been able to get to the website before it is cleared out of just everything that I might want. And I just know that as much as I order and as much as I need to stash, Archer and Olive would probably just make my retired mom, who's my roommate, she would move out. So maybe I should consider it. I was just kidding. I'm kidding. Mom, if you watch this video, ignore that last part. Just delete. Okay. So you do have a nameplate. Just the books are really nice quality. This is a leather feel. It is stamped. Y'all know Archer and Olive's quality. I mean, they're very well known in the planner community. Yeah, this book belongs to. You don't have quite as much of that, first couple of pages are glued issue that you have with bound books, which always annoys me as someone who likes spirals and discs. It is dot grid paper. So, I don't mind dot grid. Some people do. And what I did was I just tucked the notebook band in, and then I just opened up this Emily notebook cover and I tucked this in. It slid in like a dream because remember it's the same height as the Jane notebook that Louis Vuitton actually makes. Or, if this band is going to be a problem, you can just tuck it back. Just let it loose, tuck it back, and it just really it fits so nicely. There is a bulge that may bother you from the pin loop, and if it bothers you, you can always just slip it out. And so it is not a perfect fit, but it is a fit that I absolutely loved. So this part may drive some people crazy because you do have a gap. If the gap there drives you a little mad, what I did was it was just so natural feeling to put it here and to literally just have some overhang here. So I'm just going to show you how that looks. It just felt so good. I mean, I think the camera is just not doing justice to how secure this feels and how good it really does look. When you open up the notebook, you can see peaks of, let me move the trunk just so you can get the full effect. This is what's up. Out of the two choices, I almost feel as if I might sell or distash Louis Vuitton. I mean, I'll think about it over the holiday. Maybe I'll figure out a use. It also will probably be a good gift. I probably am not going to sell it. I'll probably regift it to a family member or a friend who is just getting started in luxury planning. So you got this dot grid, and I am just so pleased with that. So this is I want to tell you what kind of traveler's notebook this is. This is the Forest Impressions Traveler's Notebook. It is vegan leather, a dot grid notebook, and I was incorrect about 270 pages. It's 144 ultra thick, 160 GSM pages. So I am very pleased with this. I will say though, if you are someone who uses fountain pens, I have heard that the fountain pen folks really do not care much for Archer and Olive because it's not right. It's not going to write like Tomo River paper or a specific fountain pen paper in notebooks that your community prefers. So I am more of a ballpoint girl. I will use fountain pens. I don't mind bleed through a little bit of it just because I grew up in the analog era. But it is all in what you prefer. I also did get two other notebooks. I absolutely love this one. This is the one of the three that I think is the most gorgeous inside this cover. I mean, it looks like it was made for this cover. This is the Songbird, I believe. Let me make sure. Yep, Songbird. It's light blue, vegan leather, dot grid, 144 ultra thick, 160 GSM pages. And so I am just over the moon about this. I think these are $30 or $35 each. So just so you'll know, I got three of these notebooks for what this one cost. So wait, I didn't count correctly. Y'all are like, how did she play Duck Duck Goose when she was a kid? Okay, so this single notebook costs the same as these three notebooks, and these feel very luxurious. They're just not, this, LVMH company, right? So I did get, this is the Forest Impressions, this is Songbird, and then I think I must start off with the holiday notebook, which is Winter Village. Printed vegan leather. I just keep wanting to call leather, and I am so tired right now. So Winter Village, printed vegan leather, and 144 ultra thick, 160 GSM pages. I love that iridescence on the holiday box. You know, I knew that I would be an Archer and Olive girly if I had a different job. So if I hit the lottery, just know that I will be making lots of Archer and Olive focused videos. So this also shows you the gray undertones of the faded blue notebook more. So it is a very subtle faded blue. I know on a lot of the videos it seemed almost white. It just really is a very, very pale, to me, pretty blue. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. So I am going to start off this semester or this year or 2026 with the Winter Village. I do believe that this might be my faith planning system. This is 144 pages. I really want to do faith scripture writing, journaling, and this gives me an automatic refresh. So I have notebooks for winter, spring, and fall, and I will be looking at Archer and Olive to see if I can get something in this colorway for the summer. And then if I can do that, then I will be able to just keep this at home with my Bible and with my study Bible study books, my affirmations, and everything like that. And I will be able to get my journaling done, but then I will be able to get a quarterly fresh notebook. So let me show you how I'm going to set this up. Put the Archer and Olive here so we can. So there's the pin loop, and again, it just doesn't. The pin loop is here. It's not going to bother me as it slides into the Emily back cover. It's just not going to bother me. I know it's going to bulge a bit and it'll show on either side. Let's see. Yeah. As soon as these came, I just knew this was going to be. And I just, I know that sterling ink is super popular and I know people are really loving that, but look at that. Look at that. Let me give you a good look. Yeah. I mean, that's going to carry me. I'm not going to be ready for Songbird until March, but, I may do a few. I have a cover coming for traveler size notebooks coming. I could always, if I get tired of this by Valentine's Day, put an outer cover on the traveler's notebook. And then to close things off, this is from what I believe will be the last video by the time you see this, if I can edit my Black Friday and Cyber Monday haul in time. Because I covered up the pen loop, remember these come with pen loops, I need a pen loop, but Cloth and Paper has my back because now I can just add to the front or back cover. This even tucks nicely. Look at that. Look at that. I want a pen loop. And so the Cloth and Paper magnetic pen holders, there's the Cloth and Paper logo. Yeah, next to the faded blue LV. And I'm going to pair it with a Sarasa 0.5 blue black. You to see that. It is really difficult to see because it's so faded. I've already been journaling with this pen, and I say earlier I don't love ASMR. And I'm just like, yeah, that's fun. So you just slide this in here, and good people, I am all set for my 2025, and I feel very, very, very special with this setup. See, isn't that that's just doing it. That's doing it so well. I think I maybe my first initial, I'll get E embossed here when I go to the store next, or I might put a big Stories and Stationery. Maybe I'll print out my logo I made on Canva and I'll get a Stories and Stationery, put the E, and then I get to put my hopes and my dreams here. And of course, this is it's like a blue purple page, but I'm just loving this. Now, this wouldn't be for everybody. Some people, they would think, oh, I need more writing space and all this other stuff. I kind of like that my pages are sort of halfway protected because, this is, tucked up nicely in the cover. But if I am able to secure any other Emily covers, I pretty much think that the Archer and Olive travel notebooks are going to be my preferred option. Let me know what you think in the comments, good people. Do you think that the Archer and Olive travel notebooks are a good choice for the Louis Vuitton Traveler's Notebook? No, I'm calling it, I'm making up my own name, Lord, for $1 billion company. I said, yeah, let's just call this Traveler's Notebook cover. Um, I am going to try the Sterling ink and also the cloth and paper A5 Slim notebooks to see if they fit in. The one thing I do like about the Archer and Olive notebook option is I do realize that most traveler's notebooks don't have hard covers. I think given the fact that this has, it is flexible, it's bendy, etc. One thing about this is that it makes the notebook feel substantial. So you have this soft, fragrant, high quality leather cover, but then, the hard cover on the Archer and Olive travel notebooks makes it more substantial. So, you're not going to bend it, it's not going to break, it's just a really good deal. So, thank you so much for being here to enjoy my moment of luxury and zen. I am just so thrilled with this as an option for 2026. You're going to be hearing much more from me as we explore how planning and journaling can lead to peace and productivity, prudence and patience in every single area of our lives. Until next time, planner besties, I will see you. You be well and catch you next time. Bye.